Hello students, in this session I will be discussing 3 questions of JEE Advanced 2021. These questions are from physical chemistry. Out of these 3 questions, the first question is from thermodynamics. The question was, an ideal gas expand reversibly according to the following process. The first process is isothermal expansion, and then second is adiabatic expansion. Then identify the correct graph. Isothermal means temperature is going to remain constant, and adiabatic is also known as reversible adiabatic is also known as isoentropic process. So if we know these two facts, then we can easily identify which of the following graphs is correct here. The first is isothermal. So this is going to be isothermal. The temperature is going to remain constant. So this is isothermal part. Then isoentropic, adiabatic is also isoentropic. So entropy is going to remain constant. That means A should be correct graph. So A is correct. This is PV graph. This is a very common graph. We all draw PV graphs very commonly for these two type of processes, isothermal expansion and adiabatic expansion. We know that the slope of adiabatic is more in comparison to isothermal. The adiabatic expansion is going to be a bit more steeper in comparison to isothermal expansion. So if this graph is for isothermal, then the second is going to be adiabatic. So that way this is also going to be a correct option. Next is isothermal. Temperature is going to remain constant. So that way enthalpy will remain constant. So in isothermal expansion, enthalpy will remain constant. And then entropy should be adiabatic expansion. So that way entropy of the system is going to increase. So the entropy will increase. So this is going to be a correct graph. So A, B, C are going to be correct options. This option we can easily see that isothermal, the temperature is increasing, so it cannot be isothermal process. So that way A, B, C graphs are going to be correct graph. One more thing we can, let's say, focus on is entropy should remain constant. So this is constant entropy. And adiabatic expansion. Expansion means temperature should decrease. So that way enthalpy should be decreasing. I think there should be some correction. If this graph is there, then enthalpy will remain constant, then enthalpy should not increase. In the second adiabatic expansion, enthalpy should be decreasing. So correct graph should be like this. First enthalpy will remain constant, then enthalpy will decrease, entropy will remain constant during adiabatic expansion. So this would have been better graph. If let's say, since this is a memory based question, so we don't exactly know whether this type of graph was given or this type of graph was given between H and S. But let's say isothermal, that means enthalpy H should remain constant, and adiabatic, that means entropy should remain constant. So if this is the graph given, then C option is also correct. If this is the graph given, then I think this part is incorrect. So option, depending on which is actually the correct graph, the option answer can be A, B, C, or it can be A, B. But we know the, let's say, different aspect of these isothermal expansion and adiabatic expansion. I think this question should be clear to us. These are different facts given. Isothermal process, T is constant, reversal adiabatic process, entropy is constant. So based on these, we have to answer the question. It's a question from thermodynamics of moderate level. We should be knowing different aspect of these isothermal and adiabatic processes to solve the question. Next question is from chemical kinetics. This question is slightly of tougher level. This is 2x plus y giving us product P. Initially 2 moles of X and 1 mole of Y is taken in 1 liter solution. At T equal to 50 second, 0.5 mole of Y are remaining. So out of 1 mole, 0.5 mole, 50% consumption of Y has taken place at T equal to 50 second. And this rate law is given that dP by dt is equal to Kx. Which of the following is correct? So with respect to X, this is going to be first order reaction. And dP by dt, we can relate it with rate of the reaction. We all know that rate of reaction R is equal to minus half into dx by dt, or this is also equal to d by upon dt with a negative sign. It's a reactant is equal to dP by dt, and this is given to us as K into X. So it's a first order reaction. First order reaction at t equal to 50 second, 50% of y and hence 50% of x will be remaining in the solution, in the mixture. So that way t equal to 50 second is going to be half life. So t half is equal to 50 second should be correct option. Now if we want to calculate at t equal to 50 second, what is going to be dx by dt. So dx by dt, we can calculate from here that dx by dt minus dx by dt is 2 times k into x. Now k, that we can calculate with the help of this t half. We know that t half is equal to ln2 by k. So that way k can be calculated, and by substituting the value of k, we can calculate dx by dt at t equal to 50 second, because at t equal to 50 second the amount of x will be 1 mole. So by substituting the value of x and the value of k, we can calculate different options, which of the following option is correct. So it's a good question. We should identify that the reaction is of first order, and then we can do the calculations. So this is initially 2 moles and 1 mole are taken. T equal to 50 second, 1 mole of x will remain, 0.5 moles of y, and this is the rate. So t half is 50 second, and t half, using t half we can calculate the value of k. And with the help of this value of k, the calculation for dx by dt, dy by dt and dp by dt can be easily done. So question is from chemical kinetics, and it's a first order reaction, but calculations are involved, and understanding of writing the rate law is very much required. It's a tough question from chemical kinetics. Next question of physical chemistry was from, it's a mixed question. It's a redox reaction, mole concept, as well as some concept of organic chemistry that is also required. X gram of tin is reacting qualitatively with HCl. So tin on reaction with HCl will definitely produce SnCl2 and H2. Product P is formed. SnCl2 is going to be the product. P is formed, and P react with y gram of nitrobenzene in presence of HCl. So SnCl2 plus HCl, that is going to be a reducing agent. That is going to reduce nitrobenzene into aniline. So that reduction reaction is from the organic side. Sn reacting with HCl producing SnCl2 is going to be a redox reaction involving mole concept, we can say, or the redox reaction concept of redox reaction. So we have to do this calculation. Now the data given is 1.29 gram of the product is formed. The product is going to be aniline. So from the amount of aniline, we can calculate the number of moles of aniline. Number of moles of aniline will be equal to number of moles of nitrobenzene. That is y gram of nitrobenzene. So we can calculate the value of y. Now to reduce nitrobenzene into aniline, 1 mole of nitrobenzene will require 3 moles of SnCl2. And 3 moles of SnCl2 will be produced by 3 moles of tin. So that way, if the moles of nitrobenzene or aniline are known to us, then we can calculate moles of SnCl2 required and moles of Sn. So again, it's not a straight question involving the reactions, redox reaction, as well as concept from the organic chemistry side. So it's a mixed question. We can say it's a tough question. So this is the solution. Let's say aniline, out of the given amount of aniline, we can calculate the number of moles of aniline, 1.29 upon 93. That's the number of moles of aniline formed. So these many moles of aniline will require these many moles of nitrobenzene. So in the question, amount of nitrobenzene was asked. So we can calculate the weight of nitrobenzene, 1.29 upon 93 into 123. This is y. According to the equation, y gram of nitrobenzene is reacting. So this is the value of y. Now this is involving 6 moles of electrons. Reduction of nitrobenzene into aniline is involving 6 moles of electrons. Now SnCl2, if this is acting as a reducing agent, then this will get oxidized into SnCl4. So that way Sn2 plus will get oxidized into Sn4 plus. 2 moles will be let's say will be released by SnCl2, and those moles will be consumed by this nitrobenzene to get reduced into this aniline. So moles of nitrobenzene let's say these 1 mole of nitrobenzene will require 6 mole of electrons, and those 6 moles of electrons will be produced by 3 moles of SnCl2. So that's why the amount of SnCl2 is going to be 3 times the moles of aniline or the moles of nitrobenzene. 3 times is going to be moles of SnCl2, and these many are going to be moles of Sn. So X, which is the weight of tin, that is going to be, we can calculate with the help of this, these many moles of Sn. So this much is going to be the weight of tin. So this is X. So in the question, the value of X and Y, this is what we have to calculate. So X is equal to 4.95 gram, that is mass of Sn, tin, and Y, that is mass of nitrobenzene reduced with the help of the given amount of tin, that is going to be Y. So these two are the answers. So this is a numerical response question. We have to write the answer up to 2 places of decimal. So 4.595 is the correct answer. So all these 3 questions from physical chemistry side are not of easy standard. These are from medium to tough standard. In the next session, I will be bringing you more questions from this JEE Advanced 2021 paper, and these questions are memory based. So that's all for this session. Thank you.